Some people are born with talents. Others with something far greater. We call them superpowers. Minds that can move objects, hands that can control anything. These people defy beliefs, and once you see them, you'll start to wonder how many more walk among us.
Oh my god, take it!
This guy at the gym left everyone completely stunned with his unbelievable powers. He walked up to the bench press and, without touching a single plate, lifted almost 10-kilogram plates using just his hand gestures and placed them perfectly on the rod. People around couldn't believe their eyes, and honestly, neither could I. So out of curiosity, I did some digging for you guys and found out that this was Xavier Mortimer, the French magician. He just showed off his mind-blowing magic in the most unexpected place, the gym. Secret revealed. A Ukrainian guy decided to record a video to show off his special skills. He went near the woods, where dry leaves were scattered all around. After walking there for a bit, he began his act making different hand gestures. And you guessed it right, the leaves started moving exactly how he wanted them to. Every direction, every swirl, just the way he commanded. People online were amazed, while others were in disbelief, wondering how something like this could even be possible.
As you can see, that's kind of a blast that I did.
Goldfish magic. Remember the magician Imad I told you about earlier? Well, here's another one of his unbelievable tricks. In this video, he hands a woman a glass of water and then draws a fish on a dollar note. Sounds simple, right? But wait! He rolls the note, drops it into the glass, and suddenly, a real goldfish appears inside. Just like the drawing came to life. The woman was absolutely stunned. And honestly, who wouldn't be? With skills like that, Imad really makes magic look real.
Oh my god, take it!
Boy with powers. I'm really starting to think anyone can have telekinesis. Just look at this young boy. He didn't even realize what he'd done, but he somehow pushed a chair without touching it. The people nearby were completely shocked, trying to understand how that could happen. It really seems like this boy has some natural powers, though he just needs to be careful about how he uses them. Walking on water. Let's head to China, where an old man claimed he could walk on water. Of course, no one believed him until he actually proved it. In front of everyone, he ran across the water like it was solid ground. The crowd went silent, trying to understand what they just saw. The man looked calm, almost casual, as if this was nothing new for him. Some whispered about secret powers, others about a hidden technique, but nobody had a clear answer. The Page Wizard. While visiting a library in South Korea, a woman noticed something unusual about the man sitting in front of her, so she decided to start recording. He wasn't turning the pages by hand. He was just making small gestures as if to flip them, and the pages moved on their own. Suddenly, he realized she was secretly recording him. The woman immediately stopped filming, but by then, the footage had already captured his wizard-like powers. Shadow creep. A guy was performing a magic trick with his wife. They joined their hands on top of a canvas, with a bulb hanging overhead, casting their shadows. After a moment, they let go of each other's hands, and the shadow on the canvas was supposed to disappear. But here's the creepy part. Only the guy's hand shadow vanished, while his wife's shadow stayed for a few seconds. She got really scared. Nobody knows what kind of magic this was, but if any of you figure it out, drop a comment. Super old man. People had heard rumors about a Chinese old man with an unbelievable power, and everyone wanted to see if it was true. He claimed he could burn paper without touching it or using anything at all. Most thought it was impossible, but he proved them wrong. He stepped back a bit, focused on the paper, and within seconds, it started burning right in the middle, leaving a perfect hole. The crowd watched in shock and disbelief, wondering how something like this could even happen. Invisible pull. These women were casually talking with each other in the office when their colleague walked in. At first, he didn't say a word, just stood there. Then suddenly, he made this hand gesture, like he was pulling the phone on the table toward himself. And guess what? The phone actually moved, without him even touching it. The women just stared at each other, totally shocked. Like, seriously, how did that even happen? This guy must have some serious powers. Hand of flame. Meet Yang Chen, a Chinese trainer with a special power. He can hold a piece of paper in his hands and burn it without using anything else. I showed you guys a similar trick by an old man earlier in this video, but this guy took it to a whole new level. He completely burned the paper. How do Chinese people even get powers like this? If you know anything, let me know in the comments. I'd really love to find out. Real-life Flash. You've probably heard of the Flash, right? But what if I told you he might actually be real? Sounds unbelievable, I know. But recently, a video showed something wild. A man was casually crossing the road, completely unaware of a speeding car coming his way. The hit seemed certain, until out of nowhere, another guy appeared at lightning speed, grabbed him, and placed him safely on the other side. When asked, the man said he saw nothing. It all happened so fast. CCTV footage revealed the entire unbelievable moment. Floating pen. This young kid amazed everyone with the special telekinetic powers he has. He took a pen and placed it between his hands, then made it move in the air without even touching it. Even more surprising, when his focus got stronger, he held the pen floating with just one hand completely steady, as if gravity didn't matter. Incredible, right? This just makes you wonder how much effort and practice must be behind powers like these. Levitating power. This strange man was caught levitating in the middle of the forest. At first, it looked like he was meditating, but let's be honest, who meditates like that? The guy who recorded it tried his best to find a loophole, but it didn't seem like an illusion. And the fact that he didn't even bother with the man's presence made it all the more strange and believable, at least for me. The Element Master. Imad, aka the Great Magician, has a talent for making everyone lose their minds in the best way possible. With completely empty hands, produce dirt, water, and then wind, all within 10 seconds. The man was speechless. Like, seriously, how can someone even do something like that? That's just insane. Man from nowhere. You ever seen someone appear out of thin air? Well, that's exactly what happened in California back in 2017. The park's CCTV caught a man showing up out of nowhere, and what happened next was even stranger. Within seconds, he started walking toward the woods, then suddenly disappeared again just like he came. No one could figure out who he was. Some believe he was a time traveler, while others think he had some sort of teleportation power. Sudden disappearance. While waiting at a red light in Texas, a guy decided to record a quick video, but what he captured next left him stunned. A man was calmly crossing the road, but just as he passed in front of a car, he suddenly disappeared like he was never there. Confused, the guy replayed his footage over and over but couldn't find a single clue. Someone vanishing in the middle of the road? Strange, right? People online had all sorts of theories. Some said he was a time traveler who didn't want to be seen, while others believed it was just a glitch in the Matrix. Mysterious guy. A video recently went viral online, leaving everyone completely puzzled. In it, a man can be seen sitting by the roadside, looking calm, and then suddenly, just like a superhero, he shoots up into the sky and disappears in the blink of an eye. People had all sorts of theories. Some said he was a time traveler, others believed he was a superhuman. Honestly, I'm leaning toward the superhuman part too. Secret power. This guy once claimed that he had super strength, but of course his friends laughed it off, thinking he was just joking. To prove his point, he took them to an open ground where a massive rock was half buried in the soil. At first, it didn't look possible, but slowly, he started lifting that huge rock out of the ground. His friends were stunned, and honestly, they had every reason to be. But the real twist came when he stood on top of the rock, made no contact with his hands, and somehow, the rock began to rise on its own. At that point, it didn't look like ordinary strength anymore. It felt like something beyond humans, maybe real superpowers. Super employee.
All right, if you noticed Waffle House trending on Twitter this morning, ooh, this is why. Look at this. Here's the thing. You see how she blocked that chair? If you have ever been to a Waffle House, okay, you know you don't mess with the employees. And I'm not talking about because, one, it's polite, but because you won't win.
In a Waffle House in Texas, chaos broke out when a fight started between customers and staff. In the middle of it all, one angry customer threw a chair straight at an employee. But what happened next shocked everyone. The employee caught the chair midair like it was nothing. People couldn't believe how calm and quick she was. That moment instantly went viral, and honestly, she looked like she had superhuman reflexes. Ocean walker. A fisherman was out in the ocean on his boat when he suddenly noticed something unusual. A strange human walking on the ocean surface so casually, like it was just a normal stroll in the park. He was also carrying some kind of bag. But seriously, how can anyone walk on the ocean like that? I've shown you people walking on water earlier in this video, but never this calmly in the middle of the ocean. This guy was definitely mysterious. Power unlocked.
Don't be afraid. Clear your mind.
TikTok user Peyton King had been practicing telekinesis for quite some time, but no one really believed him. Then one day, he placed a small piece of paper on the table and started trying to move it without touching it. He focused for a while, and finally, the paper actually moved, without him using his hands. The best part? He caught the whole thing on camera. Looks like Peyton might have just unlocked something special. Special powers. Sometimes we come across people who just don't seem like they belong to this world. Like in this video, there's a man who looks unusually tall, with pale skin, and he casually walked through a wall right in front of an old woman, as if nothing had happened. He didn't even seem concerned that someone might see him passing through the wall. Characters like this are usually seen in movies, but now it's starting to feel like some of them might actually be real. Figures above cloud. When we were kids, we always wondered what mysteries the sky might be hiding. Well, this footage recorded by a passenger on a plane might just give us a clue. In it, several human-like figures can be seen standing still on the clouds. They're not very clear because of the distance, but still, seeing shapes like that up there is anything but normal. And honestly, who knows how many more could be out there? Time traveler. Back in 2007, special agents in Romania were searching for a man who was rumored to be a time traveler who could disappear from anywhere at any moment. They finally got a tip that he was at a local bookshop. As soon as they arrived, right in front of them, the man vanished again. Everyone there was left in shock and disbelief. No one's seen him since. Maybe he's still jumping through time. Levitation practice. Another strange video has emerged from the woods where a magician was practicing levitation in the air. From what it looks like, he has been quite successful because not only is he levitating, but he's also moving while in the air, completely defying gravity. It seems all his secret practice has finally paid off, and it's just mind-blowing to watch. Shapeshifter encounter. For the next clip, Let's head to Indonesia, where a motorcyclist saw something really strange. A man dressed in white was running in a weird way along the road. The rider kept watching him, but then something unbelievable happened. The man suddenly transformed into a dog. The motorcyclist freaked out and quickly turned his bike around, but the dog kept chasing him for a while. It really seemed like this was a shapeshifter, because only they can change their form that fast. Invisible barrier. Watch this video carefully. It shows a man controlling layers of water using just his hand gestures. At first, I didn't think anything was happening, but then it became obvious. He was actually stopping the water from moving forward. It was almost like there was an invisible wall preventing the water from coming forward. The way he controls it is so precise. It really feels like some kind of extraordinary power is at work here. Late son presence. It was a quiet evening when a father decided to visit his late son's favorite park, just to feel a little closer to him again. He didn't expect anything unusual, but sometimes life surprises us in the most touching ways. As he placed his things down and sat near the swing, it slowly began to move on its own, just like when his son used to play there. The father smiled softly, believing it was his son's way of saying, "I'm still here." He left the park that day with a heart a little lighter and a feeling he couldn't quite explain. Smoothest telekinesis. This guy at Starbucks performed telekinesis on a tissue paper so smoothly, it was like magic. Other customers were there, completely unaware, while he effortlessly moved the tissue with just subtle hand gestures, shifting it into different positions and angles as if it were a tiny dance. It all looked so natural, almost like telekinesis was second nature to him. Honestly, I've never seen anyone make it look this easy before. Monk super energy. In Nepal, a remarkable display of spiritual power has left many amazed. Monks were lined up, holding a sacred thread believed to connect their spiritual energy into one flow as they chanted in perfect unison. The abbot, sitting in front of a bowl, began making strange hand movements. As he moved his hands, the water inside the bowl started moving too. He was controlling the water with telekinetic powers, using the chant to channel it. Once he stopped, the water stopped moving as well. Truly a mesmerizing blend of focus, faith, and extraordinary ability. Unidentified driver. A cop signaled a car to pull over after it looked suspicious. As he approached, it seemed like there was no one inside. But the moment he got close to the window, something shocking happened. The officer's entire body started to glow, and within seconds, he collapsed, lying flat on the ground unconscious. Meanwhile, the car casually drove off into the night. It was obvious just by looking that whoever was in that car had some strange, hidden power, and they were determined to keep their identity a secret. Eerie reporter. Something really strange was caught on camera inside the White House press briefing room. During a normal day of reporting, one of the reporters' faces suddenly started to distort, like a brief glitch in reality. For a moment, her eyes and face appeared to shift unnaturally, almost as if something was trying to break through her human form. That moment might have lasted just a second, but it was eerie enough to give anyone chills. Mysterious portal. Now I'm going to show you something that's a bit hard to believe, but it's real. Back in 2017, at a shopping mall parking lot in Mexico, a man was parking his car with his wife when they suddenly noticed a strange glowing portal nearby. Staying away would have been the smart move, but out of curiosity, he walked closer and actually stepped inside it. The portal instantly closed, and since that moment, the man has never been seen again. Where he went, or which dimension he ended up in, no one knows. Superwoman. A woman was casually shopping at a supermarket, just picking out her usual stuff. when something really strange happened. A trolley started rolling straight toward her, but instead of moving it by hand, she simply made a hand gesture, and the trolley moved to the side all by itself. No push, no contact, nothing. Luckily, the CCTV captured the whole moment. I had to bring this clip for my 50M fam to check out. Waves controller. Earlier in this video, we saw a man who could stop water from coming near him, but this Asian guy takes things even further. He isn't just blocking water, he's actually controlling it. You can see him guiding the sea waves wherever he wants, sometimes to the left, sometimes even upward. What's really fascinating is that the waves follow his hand gestures before they even reach him. The way he does it so calmly and smoothly makes the whole thing even more unbelievable. Controlled politician.
55 from the committee's interview.
We often hear people say that our politicians are being controlled, right? Well, I'm starting to think that might actually be true. Recently, a strange clip surfaced online showing a member of the US, the House of Representatives, giving a speech, but the real focus wasn't on her. It was on the woman sitting right behind her. If you look closely, both of them are moving their lips in perfect sync word for word.
55 from the committee's interview.
It's honestly creepy, like the woman behind her was feeding her lines using some hidden tech or strange power. And the weirdest part? No one knows who that woman even is.
Placed on July 17, 2023.
Airport mystery. Denver Airport is already known for its weird and mysterious reputation, but this one incident took things to a whole new level. People were standing in line for security checks. Everything seemed normal until it was this one guy's turn. He was wearing jeans and a t-shirt, had long hair, nothing unusual. But just as his turn was next, he vanished in the blink of an eye. Everyone froze, shocked, confused, and terrified. No one knows how it happened or where he went, but it's Denver Airport, so who really knows what's going on there? Supergirl. A few years ago in Japan, a CCTV clip went viral showing something truly unbelievable. A schoolgirl accidentally dropped her body spray under a parked car. Pretty normal, right? But then, she did something no one expected. She lifted the entire car with just one hand, grabbed her spray, and walked away like it was nothing. No one knows how she managed that. 1 second, she was just a schoolgirl, and the next, she looked like something straight out of a superhero movie. Superworker. It was just another regular workday for Scott Lodge in Essex, England. He'd finished up a job and was standing on top of his van, packing up his tools, when suddenly things went sideways. The van started rolling toward a weak wooden fence, and beyond that, a steep drop. Without wasting a second, Scott jumped down, ran in front of it, and used nothing but his strength to stop it in its tracks. Now that's some real-life Clark Kent stuff. Unbelievable lift. A tourist in Portugal got the surprise of his life one night while heading back home. He saw a group of guys casually lifting a car, with just one hand. For a moment, he couldn't believe his eyes. I mean, who can lift a whole car that easily? Maybe everyone there's got super strength, or maybe these guys had some secret powers of their own. Either way, that's not something you see every day. Levitating master. This man had been practicing telekinesis for a long time. His goal was to take it to a whole new level. And honestly, I think he did it. He first lay flat on the ground, then slowly started levitating in the air. But the story doesn't end there. He even went on to perform a skipping rope exercise while floating. The whole scene looked unbelievable, like he was standing on some invisible support. But there was nothing there. At this rate, we might really start seeing people flying around someday. Hooded Phantom. A homeless man was resting outside a mart when he saw something that left him completely stunned. A guy in a black hoodie walked up casually, and then, right before his eyes, walked straight through the door without even opening it. The man thought maybe he was imagining things, but just a few seconds later, that same mysterious guy came back out the same way and walked off like nothing happened. I'm pretty sure no one would have believed this homeless man if it hadn't been caught on CCTV, and since that day, the mysterious guy was never seen again. Invisible guy. Back in 2015, something strange happened with a local resident in Texas. Late at night, his doorbell suddenly rang, but when he checked outside, no one was there. Out of curiosity, he decided to look at his ring cam footage, and what he saw was shocking. A man had walked up to his door, rang the bell, waited for a few seconds, and then disappeared. Just like that. Almost as if he turned invisible. I think this guy really had the power to vanish, just didn't know the camera caught it all. Eerie look.
El abogado defensor dice en esos términos.
If anyone is from Argentina, then this one's for you. Back in 2017, during a normal parliament session, something really unusual happened. A minister named Sergio Tomas was sitting calmly when he suddenly glanced at a water bottle in front of him with this strange focused look. And guess what? The bottle fell on its own, without him even touching it. Everything was being broadcast live, and the eeriest part was the little smile he gave right after, like he knew exactly what he had just done. And honestly, that was just a glimpse of his powers.
Al tipo de prebenda.
Levitating woman. So far, all the telekinesis acts we've seen were performed by men, but this one is different. A woman holding a stick in her hand started hovering in midair. At first, she used the stick for support, but then she stayed suspended in the air for quite a while without it, performing it really smoothly. She didn't reveal her face in the video, but there's no doubt she showed off her incredible powers. Secret revealed. While recording his co-worker, a guy became witness to something completely unexplainable. The co-worker had already been acting strangely, but things took a wild turn. He angrily pushed a computer across the desk without even touching it, using only a hand gesture. And when he realized he was being watched, he shut the door with that same gesture. Maybe he didn't even notice, but in his anger, he just revealed his secret powers. Leaves controller. A video surfaced online showing two Korean boys seemingly waiting for something. Suddenly, one of them started moving the dry leaves scattered on the ground, not with his hands, but just with his gestures. And the strangest part, the leaves moved exactly in the direction he wanted. Meanwhile, his friend stood there as if it was totally normal. Some people even believe that these powers aren't rare there. That's why no one seemed surprised at all. Levitating monk.
You come from very far away. You show me your skill. I don't know what happened, but I will try one time.
A British YouTuber, always curious about Buddhist monks and their rumored special powers, decided to visit a city in Thailand to see it all for himself. One monk even agreed to show him his skills. As night fell, the monk surrounded himself with candles, sat calmly in a lotus position, and then slowly began levitating right in front of everyone. The YouTuber couldn't believe what he was seeing. And honestly, I believe monks truly have access to powers we can't even imagine. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. Technology is getting so advanced these days that it almost feels like we're gaining powers in our own hands. In this video, a guy drew a strange design on his palm, and suddenly, tiny lights started blinking on it, like some kind of secret chip was hidden under his skin. No one really knows what kind of control or purpose it has. But one thing's for sure, it looked straight out of a sci-fi movie.